You are now listening to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio. This is the show where we talk about action figures, toys, collectibles, and all that sort of thing. So if that's your jam, you have come to the right place. My name is John Sargent.
And my name is Christian McGann.
We have got a little bit of a different episode for you guys today. Full disclosure, we're recording this a week early because Thanksgiving travel plans, but we wanted to get one in the can for you guys. But fret not, we have definitely still got plenty to talk about. We're going to go through some brand new on-deck collections. We're going to go through, this is news to you, Christian.
I was wondering, I was like, didn't tell me what this other segment is.
We're going to go through the Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio Holy Scripts of Must-Watch Movies.
Okay.
Which is a list on Letterboxd that I have created.
Wow.
And we can team up on it and add to it.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
Before we get into all that, you guys can definitely follow us on Instagram. We're at Mighty Champions. All your visuals are going to be there. We're going to break down what we found at the Chemical Toy Fair. You can see all of that on Instagram at Mighty Champions. You can definitely subscribe to the show wherever you're hearing our voices. That way you don't miss an episode. They drop every Monday, even when we're flying back and forth across the country. And it would be awesome if you guys could review the show. That is how the show grows. And we want to grow big and bad. So if you could hit the review, that would be awesome. If you're on Apple, scroll to the bottom of your feed. You'll see the stars. Give them a little tap. If you're on Spotify, hit the little 3 dots. And that will give you the option to review there. Anything is appreciated. All right. Christian, how have you been since yesterday?
Really good. Really good. I mean, today took a little bit of a wild turn of events. So we had an incredible time at the Chemical Toy Fair.
Which you had some high highs and some low lows today.
Some low lows, man. It's, I don't know how to think about this. It's like, I feel like I either need a TV series, trilogy, or like
you are a TV series. Someone is writing this for you.
Please. And yeah, I mean, hey, just, make this later half of the season a little bit more on the
How about an episode that focuses on someone else?
Yeah, exactly. Nah, so I mean, obviously we'll talk about the Chemical Toy Fair. I think was the last episode, or no, this will be 2 episodes ago, where I talk about my man versus God moment of the car dying, phone dying to follow. And just like the event that happened, and that basically happened again today. Well, my phone didn't die, thank God. My mentality was way different, though. It was weird. It was like I got in, I had been dropping off some packages for my girlfriend because she sells vintage clothing, and she was like, hey, can you take these packages for me? So I took it to this USPS that was like pretty close to my house, and get back in, car doesn't start, and I was like, and cut? Do we have our scene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have that?
Jeez,
So it felt very much like today is just, I'm starting to think it's like this is just some X-Men War Room training strategies. All right. How am I going to deal with this? But I think we were supposed to record today at 1:00,
something like that.
And what time is it right now?
It's currently 6:00.
6:00, and I just got here. So long story short, it worked out, I think. Car's working. Tow truck driver was insistent. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you used it accurately.
Perfect. On not towing my car and just telling me to get a new battery, because I guess that's the problem. I don't know, but I'm just
Was it the same guy?
No, it was the first guy that I had the first time my car died. And
you have inconvenienced him. He's like, I'm tired of looking at you.
I'm like, hey man, like this is the third time I've had a tow in like 3 weeks. I want to make sure. And he's like, nah, you're good, man. You're good. And I'm like, but please, like, and he's just kind of cutting me off and being like, nah, new battery, you're going to be fine. And I'm like, okay. He's like, just don't turn your car off right now. Like, go get it immediately.
Right.
So got that all knocked out and taken care of. Ended up, I probably like 10,000 steps today just alone, just because vehicles were all over the city, it felt like, and I had to be there before bombs went off. It felt like a scheme that the Joker would have worked up for Batman. But you know what? Like I said, man, whole different mentality. Like last time it was like me just fighting the sky while lightning came down and struck. And this time it was sort of just like, all right, what do I need to do? You know,
Yeah.
like it was like I had a great day, still a good time. The walk that I did was like really nice outside, and I'm like,
It was
you know
really
what?
nice
Yeah.
today. Yeah, it was really nice today.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't something worse. Like, it's an inconvenience.
It is an inconvenience. And I was like, man, so I have another podcast that I do called the MCAFR podcast. And while I was like dealing with the last situation that happened, it was like I can't not gain insight from situations, even when they suck. It's like
Where you learn the most.
It's
You
where-
either win or you learn.
yeah, exactly. And for some reason, like in the midst of that last experience, it was like new ideas were sort of just coming to the table. And it kind of made me think about the scenario where it was like, man, like how do we deal with these inconveniences? And like, what's your state of mind when you are in those? And how do we change that going forward? Because for me, in that moment, obviously it was like kind of a build up, but it very much felt like it was like, you know, I had a target on my back. But then it was like today, it was like, no, it's just this just happens, and that's it. That's it
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So that's where I'm at. How about you, man?
What's the opposite of raining on somebody's parade? Not to sunshine your parade. While you were dealing with that, I was playing UFC on PlayStation, and I created Dolph Lundgren and became the heavyweight champion of the world.
Sounds good.
So
Sounds good.
I had the first all the way chill day that I have had in a year. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
when the last time I just chilled out. Like, went to the Chemical Toy Fair, and then came home and cleaned up a little bit and started playing video games. And then I stopped playing video games like half an hour before you got here.
Wow.
Like, yeah. So really, really chill day. But let's.
Here, I'm going to flip over your toys. I'm going to body slam you into...
There's only enough chi in the universe for one of us to have.
I know. It was like you sitting on the couch playing with me, just like trekking up a mountain.
With one rain cloud over your head.
Dude,
Yeah.
nah, man. But honestly, like outside of that was like a very chill day. Like I had time, like while waiting for the tow truck, I pulled out all of the toys that I bought today and got to like take photos of them, put them on Instagram, and then display some of them, and then kind of running into, which we'll talk about, a little bit of like a not necessarily space issue, but now it's like the vision. I have to like I'm like, okay, there's some like tweaking that I got to do, and maybe a vision that I'm gaining that I'm like, okay, I didn't see this before, but maybe I see it now. So
Okay.
yeah, man. But let's talk about that Chemical Toy Fair.
Chemical Toy Fair. Okay, so we keep talking about it. It's a local toy fair here in Austin. It's not big. It's not like nationally known. It's very, very much local.
Yeah,
But
it's been around for a long time. One of the guys I trained said that he went to it, but I think he said that he went in like 2011 or something
wow.
like that, or 2014,
so it's got
something like that.
some legacy.
So it's
to
been
it.
around, yeah.
So this is our second time going on the podcast, which
Correct.
is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it isn't big, but it's dense, and
Yeah.
it's in a.
It's the Ben-Hur Shrine Temple, or Shriners Temple. That's what they're called.
Yeah, so it's like a I don't know what you call these
It's
places.
a convention center.
A convention center, but it's intended for these old stuffy white guys in hats, buildings, like groups, clubs, like
Yeah,
kind of thing.
almost
And-
like a Freemason kind
yeah,
of setup.
like Odd Fellows or like Elks Club or
Yeah.
these guys that are generally people you want to avoid.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a weird layout.
Mm-hmm.
I did find this time around it was much better lit, or I just wasn't noticing it. It wasn't like hard to see this time like it was last time.
I felt it was the same. I mean, it's basically just dim lighting into another room that's basically just completely dim into the like office kind of like bright fluorescent lighting. So it's a weird, super weird structure. It almost feels like the people in the back are the ones that like showed up late. So they're like, you get the back room, you know?
Gas back there though.
There was. There's been gas almost every time I go back in that spot.
So we'll get around to our hauls, but I would say the most successful trip I think I've ever seen you have.
yeah.
And I had a pretty successful trip, but it was like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
We ran into one of the toy soldiers out there, Nick Fowler. He was out there with his lovely wife, and they were buying, buddy.
They were balling, man.
They were balling. They had
Yeah.
bags and bags and bags.
But that's what you want though, man.
Yeah, dude, awesome.
We showed up, we killed it. You know what? Even Nick shouted us out when I went up to like meet with them. The guy that checks people in the front was like, I guess Nick brought it up and said that he had heard about it via our podcast.
Okay.
And so like we ended up talking, like the guy that runs the show. He was like, oh man, like they heard about it from his show, you know, his podcast or whatever. I was like, yes, everybody calm down, one at a time. Yes, I'll take a photo with you.
So wherever you guys are at, we have listeners in Germany, Sweden, Australia, New Zealand, all over the U.S. Wherever you're at, whatever your local toy show is, tell them Mighty Champions sent you.
100%.
You never know what could happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I would say there was probably about the same amount of vendors as last time. What, maybe like...
I think there were more, because that some other room that had all the pictures of the white guys, which looked like a Parks and Rec skit.
You just called them the white guys.
Oh, I mean, dude, we should have taken a photo of that. It was creepy. It was like
It's the people who the movie One Battle After Another is about. Like, just the last... If it's a group of old white guys in the same hat, avoid them.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I know that place, like, is... we don't have to get into it. But it was just... It's a weird thing. Like, it's almost like... It's a little creepy, and it's very much like there's an episode of Parks and Rec where she like is in the hallway and then she's like talking about all the guys.
The camera pans over to a really insensitive painting. Yeah.
No, like there's like pictures of like the wall is like painted with white guys and it's their photos. It was the exact same concept.
But yeah, I would say like, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 different vendors. And this time around, only maybe 4 or 5 of them were wholly things I didn't care about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last time there was like a whole Funko Pop person, and there was a whole I made these rugs person, and a whole these are my drawings person. I hope those people made a lot of money. Yeah. I really do. I'm not poo-pooing what they do. It just doesn't interest me.
You walk over again. I think we talked about it on this podcast, but you walk over and like sort of look. I take I wish I had a drone that could go in and do recon, like a little drone that's like...
What's the thing, the Falcon's like little like
yes,
buddy?
Yes, exactly. Because for me, it's awkward. Like if I walk up there, they're like get really excited, and then I'm like, well, great, now I got to do the walk away.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was awkward. So we have a local toy store to us that we frequent quite a lot. And, you know, names have been changed. To
protect the innocent.
I walked up to him. You know who I'm talking about. Yep. I walked up to him, dapped him up, and I said, "What's up, buddy?" And he had a glint in his eye of like, "Hey, it's my friend," when he looked at me. And he said, "Hey, I was driving past this high school, and they were doing some kind of like flea market or like rummage sale thing, and I thought I saw you and James out there." And in my head, I went, "Who the F is James?" And then I went, "No, wasn't me." And he goes, "Man, I guess some guys that look like you and James." And then in my head, I went, "Who the F is James?"
Oh my God. He thinks I'm James, man.
There ain't that many people look like you.
Yeah, that's...
I was like, all right, man. Like,
if there is, I gotta stop him. There can only be one. But, dude, I ran in and he was like, "What's up, man? How's it going?" And I felt bad because I was like talking shop about like some other like booth. Yeah. Like in his booth. Not on purpose.
That's the game.
But it was like, that's
the game.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't really like, it's just so like that back really dim one, like a little tunnel basically. Yeah. It's like, I looked like a peak in there and I'm like, and they're all just staring at me. And I'm
you
like,
just see the glow of their eyes.
Yeah. Like, yes, exactly. Like a bunch of like,
chipmunks or something.
Yeah.
And raccoons.
I just looked and I was like, okay, there's some stuff I still don't even know what it was. Yeah. I really just don't even know. It was like clothing maybe, and then paintings, I think, and then some dude did have like a couple items, but just not my items. Yeah. And then some like jars or something like that, and I'm like, I'm good.
Jars. Okay, but for the most part, so here's how things typically go when you and I go to any of these sorts of things, is that I'm going to Terminator Vision, and I'm scanning for the things I know I recognize and don't recognize, and sometimes I find stuff, and sometimes I don't. And if I find it, I get happy and whatever, and then I'll turn and find you after some time has gone by, and you usually have like my standards are just so high and my interests are so niche that just no one can please me, and then you'll normally find one or two things, and then you'll have a momentary selection headache.
Yeah.
That's not what happened this time.
Not at all.
I did a full lap of the opening room, and when I came to find you, you had 2 bags in your hand.
Yes. Yes.
And a giant smile on your face.
Dude.
And that was the beginning of what started off as the happiest day in Christian's entire life.
I'm trying to correlate because I think I cracked the bang like right before I went in there. So not only did I have toys in front of me, I was also drinking 300 milligrams of lightning. I'm telling you, man, I felt like you were going to come back around and I'm breakdancing out there.
Levitating.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just looking like Dr. Manhattan.
But what was perfect and what kicked it off, and I wish I had a camera crew following me, is when I walked over... like the first booth like had decent things where I was looking around and I was like, okay, like nothing I needed, but it felt like there was a momentum. And I bought my first toy, which was the Marvel Legends Juggernaut, which I mentioned on the top 10 villains list of figures.
Which we need to take a minute to acknowledge. On the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, they call it Figure Fate.
Yeah.
We have some sort of toy destiny that we are creating around ourselves that is making things happen.
I wanted to call it the Manifest Destiny.
No,
but we're not going to call it that.
You cannot say that.
Because you said the word, like, you're manifesting, and we've been using the word destiny.
No,
I'm like,
you can't put those together.
Yeah, no, we're not going to put those together.
Those have to stay separated.
No.
But yeah, so you found that Juggernaut.
So the Juggernaut Toy Biz Marvel Legends Juggernaut.
Which is just a spectacular presentation.
Man, it's amazing.
Joy and plastic.
Dude.
And comic. What is the comic book?
I think it's an X-Men. I haven't opened it yet, and I don't really remember too much of what it looks like. But it's an X-Men, and I think he's on the cover of it.
Okay.
Like it's
it's probably his debut.
I think it says, "And out comes the Juggernaut" or something like that.
Okay.
But that booth that I got it from is typically one that I've like actively protested.
Yeah, you have like your own personal beef with that guy.
Well, first of all, you know, again, the whole cash concept. It's like, sure, like who doesn't want to take cash? But also, why are you not going to take other forms of payment? Yeah. And so I was preparing myself. I went to the ATM because you obviously had to pay cash to get in, which they don't promote.
A lot of people turned away when
exactly.
we walked up.
Yeah. So I'm like at Wells Fargo, and I'm like, well, maybe I should pull out like a 50 because that maybe I'll come across people that will have items that are, you know, cash only or whatever. And then I was like, you know what? No. So I pulled out a 20 instead, because I'm like, I do not want to put up with. I want the vendor to learn their lesson. Freaking take Cash App and Venmo, bro. And so anyway. When we get in there, then I'm like, all right, well, this guy I typically have, like, not necessarily a vendetta with, but it's always like a shake of my head every time I leave the booth because I feel like the pricing is just kind of astronomical. But the one thing that was different about him today is that, one, typically he's out on the floor, or no, sorry, he's usually just like sitting in the back somewhere on his phone.
He was very active today.
And he
walked right up to me first thing and was like, I will cut you a deal.
Dude, that right there.
Yeah.
Because normally he doesn't even lift his head up from his phone. He's like, what's up, guys? Let me know if you need anything. And I'm just like looking around. Then I'm like, okay, I will let you know that I am not getting anything because the pricing. This time he's up and about. He's chatting with people. He tells every single person, let me know, I'll cut you a deal. Let me know, I'll cut you a deal. I see like 3 or 4. I initially see a Black Panther from the Sentinel Build-A-Figure wave, and I'm like, oh boy, like it was $45, but I'm like, that's probably a decent price for it. Then I see another DC Universe Classics that was $25, and I'm like, okay, I'm already pinpointing like that's a pretty good price for that. And then you're like, yo, there's more down here, and I see the Juggernaut, and I'm like, I pulled it out, I'm like, oh my god, no price on it. And I'm just like, gonna point at the fact that we just talked about this. And he just goes, he's like, oh, that was opened already. It's like kind of open on the side. He's like, I'll do 25 for that. I'm like, deal. He's like,
oh my God,
normally
killer.
normally it goes for about like 50, 60, something like that. And I'm like, you got it, absolutely. I was like, I'll probably be back here. So I really enjoyed that interaction. The next lady that I went to, she's been there before, and she's actually been my goat almost every time I go there. Like this old couple, you know, they look like Willie Nelson's like friends or something like that.
The Highwaymen.
Exactly. But they typically have like a table full of like a bunch of little like 90s Toy Biz.
Yeah, they always have little like knickknacks. Their table looks like somebody dumped a bucket out.
You know what? And it's funny because I think they just don't get new items. They just bring this is my third time going, and everything is identical.
It's been a decade of them being like, when will we sell through this bucket?
Yeah, and they had a Godzilla from the 1998 masterpiece, Godzilla. It was it was a little toy. I want to say it was like a Taco Bell toy. I need to do my research on it. But I had it when I was younger.
That sounds like it could be accurate.
Yeah.
Just based on what it looks like and the vague memories, that sounds like it could be accurate.
Dude, I just it unlocked a memory today. I was looking at it and I was like, oh my God. It's like the foundation that it's standing on is very tiny. Is like it's a road that's like destroyed, and he's got his footprints in there. And then his feet are like screwed in to the thing. And I specifically remember like trying to cut his feet out from underneath that thing so he wouldn't have it stuck to his feet.
So he wouldn't have a road foot?
Exactly. I grabbed one, and then she's like, oh, that already sold. And then I'm like, really? Like, I'm already kind of mind blown because I'm like, who? And this guy was like, oh, yeah, that's good. He's like, they have one right here, though. They have another one. And I was like, oh. And then he was like, yeah, man, they got this too. And I was like, this is my Godzilla. And he was like, man, it was the first one that I ever saw. And I was just like,
and then you guys hugged.
We hugged. We shook hands.
Nick's wife, huge 98 Godzilla fan. When they walked up, you were looking at the Batman stuff, which I'm sure you're getting around to.
Yeah.
And you were talking to the lady, and I was chatting with them, and I said, what are you guys hunting? And they said this and that and Godzilla. And I said, which Godzilla? And she goes, any Godzilla. And I said, 1998 Godzilla? And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, did you see the glow-in-the-dark thing out there?
Sheesh.
And she was like, I'm coming back.
Man, so yeah, that was an easy buy.
I had no idea there were so many of you people.
I mean, you know what, man? This is
where
where the scales fall from your eyes. But dude, yeah. I mean, I bought more things than you did, so if you want to jump in and...
No, at this point in the story, I am starting to think I'm not going to find it.
You're walking around like a Navy SEAL. Like, I feel like if you had like a rifle and a helmet on and you're just like, clear.
Dude, in the early going, I was starting to be like, I don't think this is my day.
Yeah.
I don't think this is my day. And I was okay with that. Before we walked in, I had a little conversation with myself where I was like, if I find something, cool. If I don't find something, that's money I didn't spend.
Yeah.
And I'm all right with that. It's just a fun thing to do on a weekend morning. Mm-hmm. And by the time you kind of came, I was spotting stuff that you would like. I was like, look at this giant stack of dinosaurs, of just Jurassic Park dinosaurs. Like, look at. I was just spotting stuff that you would like, and I kept on seeing stuff that was adjacent to my interest. It would be Batman the Animated Series, but it's Crime Squad. It's the New Adventures, or it's WWF Hasbro, but I already have them and they're kind of janky. Mm-hmm. Or it's, like a loose Rambo or a loose Terminator, and I'm like, I don't collect it, but I'm interested. Yeah, so at this stage, I was like, this isn't really my jam today. And then you had gotten word that Nick was on his way, and so you were kind of delaying finishing it before he got there, and I said, F him, and I'm going to go do my thing. So I went into the next room without you, and I come up to the first thing you see. When I say room, you're talking about like rooms, like actual rooms, like you walk through the same door that would be in your house, and then there's like a not a kitchen, but like break room, I guess. And there's a lady set up there with an L-shaped table that is nothing but Batman. There was a little sliver of Toy Story. Yeah. But after chatting with her, she tells me that she had attempted to start a bat cave. She wanted to put a bat cave in her house, and then she had to take in an elderly person, some relative or something. So
she might actually hear this because you wrote the name of the podcast down.
So then she said she needed to free up the space, so that's why she's here. I got the sense that she hasn't done this a bunch of times because she seemed nervous, like that if her pricing was correct or whatever. So after I got over the shock of just seeing all this amazing Batman stuff, but for me, nothing that I collect. There wasn't a Batman animated series, but I'm looking at it going, I was about to say to her, my buddy's going to walk up behind me, and when he sees this, he's going to lose it. And before I had a chance to say that, you came up from behind me, and you lost it. You couldn't believe what you were looking at. And then in true Christian fashion, you set aside your own inner, like, squealing little girl and started pep talking this lady that she was doing a good job and that she was going to have a good day and that she was approaching this the right way.
Yeah.
And that's like your superpower. It was, and then I was like, okay, she's in good hands. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go find something else.
Dude, so before I get to that, because my God, that was I think that was, in my opinion, the best table there. Like, by far. I wish I would have taken photos.
Just look at it, I would agree with you.
I mean, it was art.
It was awesome. It
Yeah.
had so many cool, like a lot of stuff that I just don't collect, DC Universe Classics, and a lot of the Mattel DC stuff.
It was very much Mattel, like early 2000s, like 2000 to 2000.
The DC Direct Hush stuff,
Yeah.
and all it was just, it's all awesome to see and look at. Like the DC Direct Long Halloween Batman, which I think is a terrible Batman design from the comics, but that figure represents that terrible look perfectly.
Yeah.
A lot of awesome stuff on that table.
Yeah, man. And I was like, dude, I was dropping fast. Like, and again, I didn't even spend that much. I would probably, we'll get to that at the very end of this, but it was like, I didn't really even.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't drop like a minute.
No, I didn't, because there were just so many good things that were like $5. And there was a new Batman, the Adventures of Batman and Robin, like Mr. Freeze. You probably saw it. It was $5. The same table with the glow-in-the-dark Godzilla thing. And that was cool. It was $100, and I was like, man, if it was like $15, I'd probably take it.
Yeah.
But the dinosaur guy, he had some really good, like, JP stuff, some Jurassic Park stuff. And, I sat there and talked with him about it. I didn't want to pull the trigger yet. And he was like, oh, these are $20 each. And I'm like, that's amazing. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I definitely want to do it. And then we're like talking for a little while, and then I'm like, cool, I'll come back. I was like, I'm gonna go like do some rounds. I was like, but I'll definitely be back for this. And then he just goes, okay. And then I'm like, bro, like, if I didn't want it, I'm walking away. Like,
yeah,
I get that, like, the whole thing, like, there's a whole Seinfeld episode where Jerry is like, oh, I'll bring somebody back in, and the salesman's like, and then he brings Elaine back, and then Elaine falls in love with the guy or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm like, dude, I'm coming back for this. It was just weird. He kind of blew me off, and I'm like, all right. And then,
I mean, he probably thought you're the 1 out of the 100, right? The other 99 ain't coming back.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But I was still offended by it. But the table of Batman was incredible. I mean, it was like everything that we've been talking about literally come to life on that table. And she was name dropping, like, we were talking KB Toys and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah, she knew her stuff.
Yeah, it was like, this is a fan. And then we sort of talked about, the podcast and, like, about why we're doing the podcast. And she was kind of thinking, like, do I go that route? And I'm like, to be honest, like, yes. Like, when you love this, it's not just about, like, the love of collecting and we talked about it maybe even a little bit on yesterday's episode, which will be the episode before
yesterday,
this.
which is last week, which is tomorrow, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
What is time?
But basically just like what this podcast has done for us, and the fact that it's like we're fully engulfed in this thing that has meant something to us since, like, we were so young, since we could think. And that's basically what it is. It's like, it's not work, like the evenings when I'm watching The Sopranos and I'm researching toys, it's like, what better life than this?
What a great time.
Yeah. And so, man, like, they had there's Batman Beyond toys. There were Batman Begins. It was like the perfect era for, like, my perfect era.
Yeah. And
it was really hard. Like, in fact, the first time I was there, I was like, okay, I'm having, like, really bad option fatigue. So I was like, I'm going to go do some rounds. And I was like, I'm absolutely coming back. There's just no way I'm not going to leave without something there. And then that's when I went into the fluorescent light room with you. And you were still empty-handed at that point.
When I walked away from the Batman lady, I was thinking it's certain that this is not my day. I just found an entire table covered in dope Batman stuff, but none of it was my dope Batman stuff. So it was just not my day.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the people in the kind of fluorescent light room are the same people who were there last time ish.
Kind of. Some people were sort of like spread out.
So, like, I walk up to the table that's a lot of, like, loose vintage stuff. There's a bunch of WWF Hasbro there, but it's all stuff I have or it's janky. It's, like, cool to look at. And then I come over to the next one, and it's, like, I think primarily Star Wars or something. And then I kind of cross, and there's a dude that has, like, modern Marvel Legends and some NECA Turtles and this kind of stuff. And there's a couple other people standing there, so I can't really get to a lot of it. And he's the warmest person.
Yeah.
He's the most, like, friendly and normal. He's not pressing for a sale, but he's not ignoring you. Mm-hmm. He's not awkward. He's just a dude that's a fan, and this is what he does. And I was, like, kind of enjoying chatting with him. And then I was like, he didn't really have anything that I like needed though, that I could see. And then I went around to a couple other ones, and then I to me that was the finish line, and I was like, it wasn't my day.
Holy crap!
Like it just wasn't.
I feel sorry for you.
And then I'm walking past this table that I didn't even notice. It's like the monkey's paw from The Simpsons. Like I point, I'm like, it's over there, and it's gone. Mm-hmm. Like the guy was like just sitting in the very, very back. Like you might have needed binoculars to even notice him.
Yeah. And
he didn't look up or say anything until I happened to look down and notice the thermal vision fugitive predator NECA that was sitting on it. And I was like, oh my God. And it was $30.
25.
It was marked 30.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, man, this isn't the same box as the ones that I collect, but it's the same line.
Yeah.
It's just a different box. And then I was like, oh, man, like, do I need this? Do I, like, I don't know if it's, like, the box doesn't match. And then he looks up, and I go, you do 25? And he goes, yeah. And then I'm like, great, hit the Venmo.
It's been sitting in storage.
Yeah, so, he was like, this has just been sitting in storage. I'm like, then you'll probably do 25. And he was like, yeah. And it goes for like 50 on eBay. So I was like, heck yeah, dude. I got it for basically like half price. And right then, that's when Nick and Paula showed up. And I was like kind of just meeting them and like kind of keeping them company because they hadn't seen everything yet. And I was in no hurry. I had nowhere else to go. I wasn't trying to get out of there. So it's like a fun place to just hang out. But I was done.
Yeah.
And then I kept kind of zigzagging with you and with them because you were still seeing stuff. And I went back to that table where the Marvel Legends were. And I was kind of talking to Nick and being like, okay, there's this, there's that. He was buying something pretty dope. And then I looked over at where the people had been standing before that I couldn't see. And there was a loose Bruce Lee sitting there. Mm-hmm. To be totally honest with you, I got it for $15 and it's sick. The pictures are on @MightyChampions. I don't know what it is. I tried to look on like the bottom of the foot, but this is pretty played with. Like this is probably the most played with toy I think I've ever bought, even though it's like in good shape. It's not like
who makes the Bruce Lee? I just saw the recently.
There's several companies, but I can't make out on the foot what it says. I don't think it's NECA. It doesn't really have that NECA kind of like coloring or like paint app to it.
Mafex maybe, or let's see.
I don't know, man. Like I can't figure it out. My eyes aren't good enough to read the bottom of the foot. I can't tell what it says. I can read the part that says made in China, but I can't read the other foot. But so I hadn't even considered Bruce Lee for my movie shelf because I had set a date or like a year's range that started in the 80s and Bruce Lee is the 70s, and I can't believe he didn't occur to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially since I do Jeet Kune Do.
Well, there you go.
So watch out for the figure photography of me and the dragon.
Blue something.
Yeah, it might be just something I've never even heard of. It's pretty decent quality.
Yeah,
like
it's
for,
cool.
for something to play with, you know?
Comes with some hands.
Yeah. And then on the way out, that weird room with the raccoon eyes glowing in it was full of starting lineups.
Oh, whoa.
And so I ended up getting a 1999/2000 Steve Young, which is like almost starting to yellow. It's like just enough noticeable yellow, but not too yellow. So this will look dope in my 49ers section. It's that like, You'd have to be a 49er fan for me to describe this variance of the uniform, but it's that late 90s uniform that's like a little more maroon than red, a little bit of a different logo, but like this might even be Steve Young's last year, so there could be some significance for me to that. But yeah, so that was pretty much my haul, was starting lineup Predator and a Bruce Lee, which I'm stoked with, but it paled in comparison to what you ended up walking out with.
Yeah, man, I just kept finding and finding and finding. So for the Batman table, that one was really, really challenging because there was a Mattel line almost right before the DC Superheroes line. It was a Batman and Superman 2-pack, and just the artwork on the box alone was just amazing. They had a Batman and Robin. There were so many good things, man. It was really, really challenging. But there was one that spoke to me the most because it was a Batman that I have been looking for. I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast, but it was just a kind of like Batman from the New Batman Adventures, where he's like got a blue suit. It's like
I think
a blue.
You brought it up.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe we weren't recording.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, I've just been looking for that just because it kind of popped in my brain the other day, and I was like, oh my God, I remember that. I wish I still had it. And I was kind of looking for it on eBay. Found a couple places where it's like the same figure, but that one was there. And it came with another one, almost like the same sort of late 90s wave from the Legends of the Dark Knight. So kind of the weird design of Batman that I think is one of the worst, but it's still cool looking. But it's a 2-pack. It's got it says a World of Batman on it, and it's like a Walmart exclusive. And so it has like the OG Walmart logo on there.
Is that the one that has the Kids WB?
It has the Kids WB logo on the side corner. So that right there, honestly, was what sold me. It was $20.
All right, and you're gonna keep that in box?
Yeah, as of right now, yeah. Just because I feel like that just almost makes sense. So if I can use it like it's decoration, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got that, and then from that point, we walked into that other room again, and there was a girl at the end of the table, or at the end of the beginning of the room, that she had like kind of like knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone type stuff.
She had a dumped out bucket also. But
Yeah,
it was like clean, organized after the bucket was dumped out. But there was a lot of like Happy Meal stuff.
Yeah, and normally I like stuff like that.
I'm not. That's not a negative.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that is a negative at all.
It was almost like modern versions of that too. And then there was but I just like noticed in the back corner like one of those vintage 10-inch 1994 Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Black Ranger that, as Nick pointed out, you push its back and it just like a karate kick or whatever.
So cool.
Dude, so sick. And I'm like, I grabbed that and I'm like, oh my God, like, yes. And then she's like, $5. I'm like, oh my God, yes. Didn't have the gun. It's obviously played with. At this point,
you were tiptoeing. You were like dancing.
Dude, I literally couldn't stop
You were the Seinfeld excited GIF. Like,
I love it.
You couldn't stop being that.
I'm not even lying because I was like, I told you, I was like, I can't stop smiling. Like, legitimately, I couldn't stop smiling. I mean, I bet you if you looked at me, I had a twinkle in my eye. But, dude, I mean, straight up light up sandals moment where I was just like running throughout the place, fired up. But, so I got that. And I'm already stacked. And then I'm missing one thing. Oh, the guy that always has like the 80s vintage
there's a guy like towards the front. He's also a really nice guy. He's just he's got good stuff and he's pleasant, but he's putting on a salesman character. You know what I'm saying?
He's definitely
he tried to sell me a knockoff He-Man. He knew it was a knockoff.
Yeah.
He wasn't trying to pose it as not a knockoff. But he approached me the same way that you approach someone to sell them cocaine. He got real close to me and he's like way taller than me, like most people are, and he got up close to me. He's all, "Hey man, look at this." And I was like, "What is that?" I just saw the price tag said $300. I go, "What is that?" He goes, "It's knockoff He-Man." I go, "Why is it $300?" He goes, "It's He-Man." And I go, who's the knockoff?" He goes, "It's a knockoff of He-Man." I go, "I understand that. Who knocked it off?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." I go, "Why is it $300?"
Oh, I heard that. Okay, and I was wondering. I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
But his booth is sick. He
has a good booth.
He had a 2-pack VHS set of Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Sick.
They were like, it was like the shape of almost like a laser disc. I've never seen anything like that before. He had like 80s LJN, Hulk Hogan's, and he has a lot. He was the dude last time that had the Rambo M60.
Yeah, he's got really good items. They're generally, he's got a pretty high, like priced kind of thing, just because it is vintage and it is like that high dollar stuff. That, in fact, he's probably the only one in there that has that level of like real true vintage gas that like I think like big collectors, real collectors that where they want to spend some money. But as soon as I go over there, I usually entertain his booth. It's just generally like before my time. Like I respect it. But I immediately saw a Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. And I was telling you as I found it, I was like, oh my God. I look it upside down, $10. I'm like, I show it to him and he's like, it should be under there. He's like, I was like, no, I'm getting this. He's like, oh, my bad, bro. Like, my bad. And I was like, just letting you know I'm getting this. But I had been looking for that toy literally like 2 days ago on eBay. So it was just like, oh my God, it just keeps happening.
Toy destiny, man.
While I was like looking at some of the stuff he had, there was a dude that was like digging through old Joe vehicles, I'm pretty sure. It was like
this place had a lot of vehicles.
Yeah.
Like almost all the cool booths had vehicles, like tons of vehicles.
Yeah, it was like a crate full of them. And I didn't really look at it. It just looked like they were all old. And like really played with and like parts almost. And the guy was like digging and digging and digging. And then he said something. He's like, hey man, I'll do the whole thing for $2 or something like that or whatever. I don't even know what price he gave me. It was a big price though. And I was like, man, like this dude's like real coming on strong with the salesmanship. And then he's like, I'll give you the crate too if you want it. And I'm just thinking like, oh, that guy's about to just like shoot him down or whatever. And the dude's like, all right. And then he just pulls out a giant wad of cash and starts unloading and then just like gives it to him. And he's like, yeah, I'll take whatever. And I think that dude was just like not expecting that to actually happen. And then his like spirits, like I'm surprised he didn't start tap dancing like while we were there because he was like sitting there and he grabbed the kid that was with the dude that did it and like had his hand over. He's like, man, oh man, you're so lucky to have such a good father. Isn't this amazing to go? I'm like, bro, like, we got it. You just got paid, man.
Don't talk yourself out of a sale.
Exactly.
Here.
It's like, just like stop talking whenever
once
they buy.
It's sold, quit selling.
Yeah. So, I got that JP, the Jurassic Park 3
You had one more
Spinosaurus.
thing that you found that if I would have found it before you, I would have bought it. On straight up FOMO. I don't remember where you found it. I just remember seeing it in your hand, which is the deluxe Wolverine.
So,
which again, more toy destiny.
Dude, it is because it may have been the same guy. I
think maybe it was.
Because I found that one at that other toy fair, if you want to call it that or whatever, that I spent 13 minutes at and took off because the guy didn't want $5 via Venmo or whatever. And I go and I see it, it's $5. And then I'm like, I had...
if y'all don't know what a deluxe X-Men is, like the Toy Biz 90s deluxe, like big...
10, 12 inch, whatever.
Like, 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever. It's a big... And it's a blown up version of the Toy Biz X-Men Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like the blue and yellow, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, like
for
early
5
90s.
bones?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Dude, just had a $5 bill in my, I think it was like the last of my cash, $5, just handed it to him, bam, done. And then after that, the last thing on my list essentially was to go back and get that dinosaur. And, he was like, it works. He's pushing the buttons and it's like, and I'm like, I don't care about that. In fact, I'm probably going to take the batteries out because it was just like, would not stop making noise every step that I took. In fact, when I went into the elevator...
I was hoping you were going to bring it over. We could use it on the podcast.
Yeah, well, I was going to do that, but then it was like when I had the car debacle take place.
Yeah.
But when I got into the elevator at my apartment, it was like making noise as I was like walking in there.
I'm just picturing you and the girl in the elevator in Liar Liar and nobody else, and you're just standing there looking straight ahead to be polite, and there's just T-Rex noises.
See, that's what I was afraid was going to happen, but it was like a UPS driver, and he was like, "You a power lifter?" And I guess, and I was just like standing there with toys and bags. Yes, I am. No, I was like, no, man,
Power lifting these T-Rexes.
I know. Yeah, I was thinking, okay, like I know he's going to talk with me because he was just kind of staring at me, And I was like gearing up, and I was like, okay, we're going to talk toys. Like, that's just what's going to happen. And then he was like talking to me about lifting. And I was like, oh, okay.
Who cares about that, dude? Well, look at this Wolverine.
Yeah, it was like a weird, a literal elevator pitch of his like fall from grace from like lifting weights or whatever. So I didn't even have a chance to give him a pep talk. I was preparing for it. I was like, okay, here we go. And then, so anyway, yeah, man. So I go back and get that T-Rex, $20, and there was one more that I could get, but I felt satiated.
Yeah.
I was like, I think this would just be almost like tipping the scale a little bit.
If karma would have went that well for you, then who knows what could have happened with the rest of your day to balance out.
Yeah, that's true. John, I'm working on a time machine. But no, it was... Dude, it was great, man. I could not be more happy than. I mean, it was like everything that I think that we've been talking about since we started this podcast.
It was fantastic. Yo, get out and go to your local toy fairs and toy shows and swap meets and flea markets and whatever's around you. You can't not have a good time, even if you don't find anything, even if you don't have the toy gods shine down on you like we had today. It's still going to be a good time. So get out to your local stuff. And if you're in the Texas area and you're free on January 17th and you want to roll with us to New Braunfels to go to Retromania, we're going. So hit us up at Mighty Champions. Let us know if you're coming with us. We got added 2 people to our party today. So we got at least 4 toy soldiers rolling out, and we would be glad to have the more the merrier. So if you can make it to New Braunfels on January 17th, come with us. Let us know.
Especially those San Antonio listeners. You're right there. Right there.
For sure. All right, no news today because we just recorded an episode yesterday and it would be outdated news by the time y'all hear this. So instead, we are going to go over the Mighty Champions Letterboxd.
Now is your chance to save the city with Turbo Man. Fight against crime with America's favorite superhero, along with his awesome turbo gear, like the trusty Turbo Ring, Turbo Discs, and the Turbo Disc Launcher. And the roaring jetpack, complete with ballistic sound. And best of all, 4 turbo phrases, including Turbo Time, Turbo Man.
Available exclusively at Walmart. Sold separately, batteries not included.
Okay, so full disclosure, I don't sleep a lot. So what I do instead of sleeping is my brain just never shuts off and I just think about stuff. I think about fighting, I think about my business, I think about my workouts, and I think about the podcast. And I just come up with ideas, not on purpose, they just come to me. And I believe how this started was I was trying to figure out what to do with this time because I woke up at like 4 and I was like, should I watch one of the movies I've been like thinking about watching? And I was like, oh, it would be, for whatever random reason, Small Soldiers popped into my head.
Cool.
And then I thought, wait a minute, I should make a list on Letterboxd of all of the movies that are about toys.
Wow.
So that's how it started. Then I started thinking, wait, not just about toys. It's got to be movies about toys and toys about movies and movies that led to the toys that we collect and that we talk about and that we know some of the toy soldiers that it led for them. So here's what I've got so far.
Okay.
And you tell me whatever pops into your head. That's got to go off the list. Or if it spurs that something else should be on the list or whatever, right? So first things first, Toy Story 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Never seen 4, but yeah.
I've never seen 4 either, and I don't intend to. Fully, just being honest, 3 was such an incredible movie that I went, why are we doing a 4th one? And now there's a 5th one announced, and I think that's comical that it's even happening. It's just, okay, we took this thing that was like so wholesome.
I think the worst thing in the world, really quick, is the live action Moana movie. It's like, dude, why are you doing this? Because it just came out like 4 years ago or something.
That's
crazy.
That's true. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Toy Story 1 through 4 is obvious, and when 5 comes out, I'll put that on the list also.
Okay.
Whether I'm going to watch it or not. Small Soldiers. We
Definitely.
we did a segment where your portion of the segment was Small Soldiers, and that's high on my list of things to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's about toys. Lego Movie.
Okay.
You ever seen the Lego Movie?
I did watch that, yeah.
The regular Lego movie?
one, yes.
Great movie.
It's a good movie, yeah.
Why won't you watch Lego Batman?
The disrespect.
Disrespect to who?
I don't know, man. I don't want to watch a Batman comedy.
Okay, you're weird.
Yeah.
It's on the list, right?
You can keep it there. For the kids.
Barbie.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's about Mattel.
Yeah, Mattel is a character in the movie.
Yeah.
Like Will Ferrell works. He's the CEO of Mattel. There's a giant Mattel logo.
Right.
And it's about a toy, right? It's about toys. And guys, watch that movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's legitimately a good movie. Masters of the Universe.
The original, like from the 80s?
The Dolph Lundgren one.
Okay.
The UFC World Heavyweight Champion in my house today, Dolph Lundgren.
Wow.
Masters of the Universe. It's a wouldn't exist without Mattel, without Masters
true.
of the Universe toys, right?
Wow.
And that one is on the list because that one is the only one that exists as of right now. And I'm doing feature films, right? Animated or otherwise, but feature length, like theatrically released films. Transformers the movie, not the Michael Bay one, the animated one.
Okay.
From the 80s. Obviously,
Yes.
toys, right? Epic movie. Like, absolutely epic movie. Despite your feeling of Transformers, you may or may not, I could see like a 50-50 on that one for you.
Yeah.
It's really cool animation.
Cool.
It's really cool animation. G.I. Joe the movie, the animated one.
Right.
As we talked about on the last episode, F Rise of Cobra. And whichever one The Rock is in. Like, don't need that.
Yeah.
Indian in the Cupboard.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. 40-Year-Old Virgin. Now this one's controversial. From a visuals perspective, filled with really cool toys. It is the antithesis of what we're trying to do. It is the culture around people who this is their hobby and their interest. It paints it in a bad light. So do we keep 40-Year-Old Virgin or do we ditch it?
I would say keep because, I mean, it's bad because he sells all of it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I don't know. Maybe that one is almost an honorable mention because there's like Marvel Toy Biz Legends and stuff like that in that movie.
Yeah, and I think
Elektra is in that movie. I'm pretty sure the Elektra figure that you brought up in the last episode.
I think it's important for people, especially younger people. We don't have that young of a listenership audience.
Yeah.
We don't have that young of people, but people who were born into a world where nerds ruled need to understand that it wasn't like that. It hasn't always been that way. And 40-Year-Old Virgin is what it used to be like. Like, that's how people used to look at us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's what, it's 2005 or something like that. So there was like, oh man, this amazing, hilarious concept about a guy that has the best toys on the freaking planet. Like, wow, you know?
Jingle All the Way?
Oh, dude, yes.
It's not only is the entire premise about a toy, but the real life actual toys visible.
And the sequel with you going to Walmart is happening.
Okay.
You need a mailman. You need a Sinbad character. We need to come up with like who the Sinbad character opposite of you is.
Blank Check.
Yes.
Right? I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he buys a bunch of toys in that movie.
I think he buys video games.
Oh, is it video games?
Yeah, it's like video games where they're like boxing or something like that. I gotta go back and rewatch it. And then he also kisses a 30-year-old woman as an 11-year-old. So
we have a segment called Blank Check.
Yeah.
It wasn't the original intent for it to be tied together, but it sort of has ended up that way. So I think that should be on the list. Predator. Did you watch Predator yet?
I think my mom's calling.
Yeah, I got car troubles.
Yeah.
Predator's
Too soon.
Predator's
Too
on
soon.
the list because I collect a bunch of Predator stuff, so we talk about it nonstop.
Yeah.
I bought a Predator figure today.
Yes.
Aliens
Yeah.
comes up a lot. I I looked at a power loader, a Kenner power loader, for a good long time today. I was like just itchy at that point, and I almost was like, I'm going to start an Aliens collection right then and there. There is not a Batman the Animated Series movie, but there is Mask of Phantasm. So
the Mask of Phantasm and
animated series.
Batman Sub-Zero.
Yeah, so I don't think that was released in theaters, which was my criteria. So we've got Mask of Phantasm on here because technically it is the animated series, right?
Yeah.
So the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? Huge toy line. Spider-Man 2000. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to find a way to get Marvel just in general in here, but a lot of that early stuff is not inspiring collections necessarily.
Yeah.
Terminator 2. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie.
Yep.
Home Alone.
NECA, I guess, maybe? Or
Starting lineup.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the ground is covered in toys. He uses toys as weapons. His room and his brother's room filled with toys.
Yeah.
Filled with toys and just collectibles and that kind of stuff. X-Men 2000.
Yeah.
Well, those figures get talked about quite a bit.
Yes. Yep.
Rambo First Blood Part 2, specifically, because that spawned the Forces of Freedom, right? Which we talk about very frequently. RoboCop. Constantly mentioned.
Saw that today. That box looked incredible.
Batman 89.
Yep.
Right? And you guys can feel free to jump on Letterboxd and search Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio Required Viewing. That's the name of this list.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2, the animated movie. So Street Fighter has had a major resurgence lately from the Jada toy line. It's part of our news constantly. We know several people that are collecting it. I think it's an amazing line.
New movie on its way.
Yeah, new movie coming out. And then Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Right? We're going to do an on-deck collection here in a minute. It's not my on-deck collection today. It will be someday. I'm going to get those O-ring Mortal Kombats.
Yeah.
What am I missing? What are
Star Wars, which is
brother,
the biggest.
What am I, stupid? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So we could probably just put A New Hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, just in general. Oh, I guess, yeah.
What else? I can't believe I missed Star Wars.
Lord of the Rings.
Is that a big toy?
To me?
Okay, that's good enough
to
reason.
Me? Yeah. I mean, dude, those toys are amazing.
How come you didn't buy those ones we saw today?
That's the thing, man, is I wish I didn't see those. I think if they were in the box, I probably would. Not necessarily because I would have kept them in the box, but I don't know. It was just baggies full of things, and I was so overhyped that I feel like I didn't want to just look at them because they were in Ziploc bags or whatever. I don't know. I was like, I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Another time.
What else? I feel like DC is underrepresented.
Godzilla.
You want me to put 1998 Godzilla
Please and thank you.
into this?
It has a massive collecting fan base.
You want me to sully this list with Matthew Broderick and Roland Emmerich's Godzilla?
I mean, you could also put another Godzilla because those are obviously huge toy
No,
lines.
we'll do yours. It's fine.
Good.
It's fine.
Good.
We'll do yours. What else? I feel like we have crossover, but we also have a lot of separation that's because of just age gap. I was trying to think of something wrestling, and really the only movie would be No Holds Barred, and there are figures from that. That was the figure that I put back at Dallas was from that movie. But it's not that movie didn't create collections.
I mean, you brought up the Rocky Hulk Hogan 2-pack. So kind of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's other. I mean, Mr. T is from the
A-Team.
A-Team.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of stuff that centers around us and our show and our listeners and things that we bring up. But that's a pretty solid list as of right now. So now what I want to do is go through the stats with you.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got 33 movies in there as of right now. Like I said, you guys can go on Letterboxd. You can search the list, Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio Required Viewing, and you can respond onto that and tell me what movies that we're missing and that you want to add. But we've got 33 right now, which is 58 hours from 10 countries, 2 languages. The most films are from 1995.
Interesting.
Which is Toy Story 1, Mortal Kombat, Power Rangers, and Indian in the Cupboard. The second most is 1987.
Interesting.
Which makes a lot of sense because 1995 is kind of like the stuff you would have grown up with, and 1987 is the stuff I would have grown up with, right? The most featured genre, action, then adventure, comedy, family, sci-fi, animation, fantasy, thriller, romance, drama. I don't know how romance got in there. And this is the part that I find the most interesting is the top cast. We've got 5 Tom Hanks movies.
Yeah.
4 Tim Allen. 4 Wallace Shawn, who I think is the T-Rex.
Yeah, he's a T-Rex, yeah.
4 Don Rickles. 4 John Ratzenberg. 4 Laurie Metcalf. 3 Arnold Schwarzenegger. And 3 Billy D. Williams.
Star Wars, yeah.
What are the other ones? Star Wars. Oh, he's in Lego Batman. 2 James Cameron directed and 2 John Lasseter directed.
Okay.
And then the highest average rating, Lord of the Rings Fellowship.
Rightfully so.
Lowest average rating.
Let me guess. I don't know. Small Soldiers?
Godzilla. The most popular among Letterboxd users, Barbie.
Yeah, okay.
The most obscure among Letterboxd users, G.I. Joe the movie.
Okay.
The newest, Barbie. The oldest, Star Wars. The longest, Lord of the Rings. And the shortest, Batman, Mask of Phantasm.
Yeah, okay.
So that's where it is right now. If you guys are listening to the podcast and you're like, I don't understand the reference of something, it's all right here. Or if you're like, they're not talking about my jam enough, go in there and tell us what it ought to be. But yeah, so that's the Mighty Champions Action Figure Radio required viewing list.
Good stuff.
All right, let's get on to our on-deck collections.
They are good. They are evil. They are alien. They are wise. And they are available. At Toys R Us, you can find the complete collection from Star Wars Episode 1. It's a selection of epic proportions, and they are waiting. Toys R Us.
If you're new to the show, this is a recurring segment that we do. It's called On Deck Collection. Essentially what it is something we're not collecting that we plan to collect. Because it is just ringing our bell or calling our name or however you want to put it. The bell tolls for thee. The bell that tolls for me is I've been talking about it and I've been talking about it and I've been talking about it, and it's time to just say it out loud and make it a collection. Kenner Predator.
Okay.
It is now lore that I took my scavenge Predator to the Russian River when I was a kid, along with my Toy Biz Wolverine. I buried them in the sand, and I forgot about them, and I left, and Christian wants to go back and get them.
I still believe. I still believe.
I still believe.
I still believe.
So it's a really colorful box. It's a really awesome toy for toy's sake. It's really sentimental to me. It's my favorite movie monster. And I realized I could actually mingle it in with my NECA collection and it would brighten up that area. It would make it kind of pop a little bit more because they almost blend into the wall a little more than I had intended. So that kind of has something to do with it. And also because they're not one-to-one to any movies, I can just willy-nilly it, which is liberating to me because my incredibly detailed OCD mind makes me have to have rules and all this kind of stuff where I don't have to with this. So I'm just going to run through them. What the rule would be for me is I would not get Alien versus Predator. As we've talked about before, I don't care about when aliens and predators overlap. I don't like the movie Badlands. I don't care about the overlap between the Weyland-Yutani Company and the Predator universe. It doesn't interest me in the slightest. I like aliens and I like predators, and I don't need them interacting.
The same way that I'm like, I don't really need a comedy Batman movie because I don't think that they need to interact. So
The difference is I'm right and you're wrong.
yeah, but already the guy that loved Predator today was like, what did you think of the movie? And then you stomped all over, and he's like, I loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was like, it reminded me a lot of the comics. So to me, it almost like felt like he maybe had the upper hand because he was more of a fan because he's pursuing.
You're taking some random toy seller guy's side over mine.
I just look.
I thought we were cool, man.
It was just interesting. I was like, somebody finally.
I am a Predator purist, and Badlands is offensive to my people.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, here's a bunch of random made-up Predators I'm about to go through. So Series 1 from, I'm looking at this website, doesn't have the years. I think it's 94, 95-ish is when this is going on. So you've got the Cracked Tusk, which one thing that's really cool about Badlands is that it takes inspiration from all over the place, and the main character, who has a name, and it's Deck, has one of his 4 mandibles is broken off, and that is because of this figure. It's like the inspiration is from this figure that's called Cracked Tusk Predator. Then you have Lava Planet Predator, who's like red and glowing and like looks like lava. Just toy for toy's sake is epic. Nightstorm Predator, Predator Clan Leader, Scavenge, which is my guy. That's my boy who I left. That was the man left behind. There is a dark green and a light green version of him. Spiked Tail Predator, Stalker Predator. So that's the 8 that are in Series 1. And if memory serves me correctly, there's only 2 series before it starts to intersect with Alien. So you have Laser Shot Predator, and then this is saying that Series 2 is just that one figure, and that Series 3 is a bunch of other figures. I don't know that that's accurate. Renegade, Spiked Tail, Stalker, and Scavenge again, but in a different color. So, and then there's vehicles, and there's a 10-inch, there's all that kind of stuff. So there's about 12 figures that are on the table for me, and I don't need to be a completist, but I want to use it as almost like just like we said, a salute, pay homage, and to use it as like a splash of color in an accent to my NECA collection, which would be the main feature. And this would be decoration of it, basically. So that's where I'm at. And I kind of went into today at Chemical Toy Fair hoping to see some of those, because they're usually pretty plentiful at everything. And I just, say what's up and I keep on walking, but nope, not today.
What's the kind of average cost?
You'll see some of them. They're kind of the same as like the Alien figures, where they're like, there's so many of them that are around there. You could see them for 10, 15, 20 bucks in like really good shape. The more sought after ones like the Cracked Tusk are going to get up into that like 30 kind of range. This is something I would be willing to do on eBay. I would trust those pictures and look at the profile and go, that card looks pretty good, and go, yeah, I'll do that. You know what I mean? This is something I would be willing to do on eBay. I haven't started doing that yet, so I don't have a very clear picture of the price range, but if you were like, okay, later today, let's just go take a look and buy 1 or 2, I would be like, yeah, I'll do that.
Nice.
Where are you at?
Sounds like a good plan. Yeah, man, I don't know what... I kind of told you a little bit about this yesterday, but I really don't know what switch was flipped in my brain. I've talked about it. I've teased it a little bit on this podcast. But something Star Wars, man, has been just kind of doing something for me. Like the toys. And they've been part of my on-deck collection. I don't know if it's just because I'm like, I watch a lot of like the Toy Federation videos, and it's always a ton of Star Wars. And even the vintage collection is kind of like doing something for me. I would never pursue that because it just feels like the price points. It's just like, just in my opinion, I'm like, I don't need to do that. But I think Star Wars, I think right now, the sort of guidelines that I'm setting for myself, Episode 1, 2, and 3, and as I've mentioned before, those are my Star Wars movies. In the same way that Godzilla 1998 is my Godzilla, and if you have a problem with that, there's the door.
Yeah, minding my own business.
Yeah,
kick me out of my house.
Exactly.
It's not my fault you grew up wrong.
Hey, it was amazing. But yeah, I mean, those have just been hitting pretty hard lately, and it's not even gonna be that crazy. Like,
no,
I don't.
Dude,
I'm
those, like a Power of the Force kind of range. Those are cheap.
Yeah, they're cheap, and to me, I think that is a way to scratch the itch with ease.
Okay, but what does it look like? Is it keeping them on card?
Yeah.
Is it one and done per character?
That one I'm not too sure about, because I only had one of like the characters that I wanted.
So you're gonna have minimum of
Yeah.
3 different Anakins.
Yep.
Plus a Darth Vader.
Plus the Darth Vader.
Right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have Obi-Wan's basically the same throughout.
No, he's got like the like buzz cut with the rat tail.
And then he
in
has
the
like
Phantom
long
Menace.
hair.
And then he has like the wavy hair and the beard.
Yeah.
And then he's got the short hair and the beard.
Bad guys, there's only going to be one of, because it's basically a new bad guy per movie,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
The only thing is I wouldn't get Anakin from Phantom Menace. I don't need that little kid's action figure.
I hate that kid. I hate
He's
that.
got like his mug shots. Like he didn't have a good like post life after
Good.
that.
He's annoying in Jingle All the Way, and he's even more annoying in Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is one of my least favorite movies of all time. I like the plot.
Yeah.
Like, I like what it did, and I have an appreciation for 2 and 3. I don't really care to sit down and watch them.
3 is sick, man.
3 is the one that would have the best chance of me.
2 is sick too, dude.
It's just the CG's really bad. Hayden Christensen's really bad. Like, if it didn't catch you young enough, you can't overlook that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could watch Masters of the Universe and love it. There's no way someone could watch that today for the first time and make it all the way through.
That's why
it's the same.
actively kept scrolling whenever that movie popped up in front of me.
It's the same idea,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so do you need all the bad guys? You need Darth Maul.
So I definitely get Darth Maul, Darth Vader, and General Grievous are really the only people. I maybe just for the sake of maybe like the Sidious.
No Count Dooku.
Ooh, Count Dooku would be sick too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I probably would do those. I would get.
Jango Fett.
Yeah, probably.
Mace Windu.
See, I saw him today and was like, do I pull the trigger on it? There was no price on it. And I think if it was $5, I would have done it for sure.
Yoda.
Maybe, yeah. Dang it, man. Dang it.
You didn't put any thought into this.
No, see, I thought I was fine about...
Padme?
No, I don't need that. I don't need any other side characters. Maybe the squid head looking dude. I can't remember. Kip something. But
C-3PO?
I don't know. I'm going to say I don't know on those because I don't really put myself in a position to be in a toy store and that's the only thing there. I think I'm leaving instead of getting that.
Okay.
Even if it's $10.
Okay.
Because they are about $5 or $10.
Yeah.
10 to 15 maybe.
Yeah, you can go to Bat City Toys and start a collection right now.
Yeah.
Or honestly, you go to Holocron, which if you guys know what Holocron is, it's a store the size of Ross. There's nothing in there but Star Wars merchandise, mostly figures, lightsabers, everything that's here in Austin. If you were like, I'm going to start a Power of the Force, and you could probably finish that collection in Holocron, and you'd spend on average probably $5 a figure.
I don't know if I would be doing Power of the Force. I would think I would just solely be doing the prequels.
Though the toys specifically released for the movies.
Yes.
You're saying, okay.
Yeah, because I just love the artwork for it.
Yeah,
it just obviously hits really hard, and I love those movies when they came out.
Yeah.
And I think that they would just look really good the same way that you're talking about the Predator.
Yeah.
It's just almost like you're decorating. It's going to add to the flavor. I think, the way what we talk about it is when somebody who comes into your room that's sort of unsuspecting, they're going to be like, oh my God, like they're going to love something in here. And I think that I would be paying respects to myself when I was younger for loving those toys and loving those movies, and then the same concept of just like somebody comes into the room, they're just going to be like, look around, and you want to be in awe, you know? And I just feel like having those somehow like on the wall the same way that you're doing your Batman animated series, it's just like beautiful artwork that you are looking at. So I think also if I did Power of the Force, and I'm talking like, you know, late 90s, 2000s kind of era, I think I would do some vehicles. I think the vehicles have actually been speaking to me a little bit. I don't really need...
You should have crowdfunded the frickin' drop-off thing, whatever that was called.
Yeah, no, none of those.
Just drop a rent payment on that.
No, I think I'm sticking with my era.
Yeah.
So what I would have seen at the store, like that's really all I'm sticking with. There's some items like I don't really need like the, you know, like the little like sound effects for you out there. His
the pod
racer.
Oh,
I don't think I need
God.
that. But if it was like $20, I might get that.
I was listening to a movie podcast the other day, and it wasn't about Star Wars, but Star Wars came up, and there was a guy on that podcast that I think is like late 20s or early 30s, and he said that Episode 1 was the first Star Wars movie he ever saw, and he never saw any other Star Wars because he doesn't like pod racing. He thought the movies were about pod racing, and I was like, I could see that if that's the first movie that you saw as a kid, and you're like, this is so stupid.
I didn't hate that part, though. I didn't care about that part.
It's so boring. That whole movie is boring.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't really think about that, but I also have friends that loved that part. And I remember specifically pretending like we were pod racing one time, like in like a broken down bus.
Yeah, I think
seat.
I was just too old by the time it happened.
Maybe.
Yeah. I missed both eras of Star Wars. I would consider myself a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
But the original was too early for me, and then the trilogy was too late for me, and then the most recent ones are dog water.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? So I don't know. It's weird because it's been something that I've rejected for kind of a long time now because
you bring it up a lot, man. It's in you. I think you should do that, especially if you have the guideline, the rule. It's gonna go on the wall. It's art. It's gonna be part of the decoration. And I would sit down and think out some guidelines of like who you need and who you don't need. Who, if anybody's gonna get duplicated or not duplicated, right? You could probably get away with just an Episode 3 Anakin.
Yeah, I think if I would just get him. Probably. I mean, I had him and Qui-Gon for sure. There's like some vehicles that I think I would definitely like look into getting. Maybe a droid, you know, like I feel like you need like a little bit of that.
Mace Windu?
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would do that. I probably would. And they're all like pretty cheap, so I have no problem with that. Like again, I could like if I'm itchy, I could drive anywhere pretty much in Austin that sells those and go grab a handful of them, and it only would be $30, you know. So I think that's what makes it even more enticing is because I can just scratch that itch immediately rather than like what I'm actually like truly pursuing is so distant between like when I get them. Although I will say now that we've talked about this and it kind of unlocked, I told the story before on the podcast, but like I'm thinking I probably need a Luke. I had a Luke Skywalker. I probably need a Han Solo.
So you're opening it up to...
I know. Well, like, I have this story where I'm holding a Han Solo toy.
Yeah.
And it is... and I'm like telling my mom, because I'm young enough, I have it in my hand. And I'm like, Mom, I want another man. And I kept saying that. And I remember, like, people giving me a hard time for it. And I didn't know why. But I'm like, I want another man, you know? But I was holding a Han Solo action figure.
Yeah,
so
I think you were the first person I talked to after I had an absolute epiphany when I think there was one day where I had like a little bit of a breakdown and I said I'm out on Star Wars. I just don't care anymore. They have taken away my fanhood. And then later on, I said fanhood, by the way. Make sure I enunciated that.
Yes. Yeah.
Then later on, I was like, you know what? I can't just drop a thing that I love. I just have guidelines. And the guidelines are, if it doesn't center around the Skywalkers, miss me with it.
Yeah.
I just... and The Mandalorian. But I just miss me with whatever doesn't involve. I don't need the Clone Wars and the Rebels and the like all the extra, just anything that's coming up in the future. If it doesn't center around the Skywalkers, if it takes place in generations before that or generations after that, I just don't care.
Yeah, same.
I'm gonna pass. So in that realm, like I've got a Luke Skywalker in my movie shelf, right? Like I do love Star Wars, and I did appreciate the prequel trilogy at the time that it was coming out, and I am fully co-signing your plan, your idea, your on-deck collection.
I will say I feel like it might be challenging to not open it. So I think I'm up in the air right now on that. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it on the wall.
You could. So here's one thing that there's a handful of things in here that started off on the wall, then got opened. They don't have to stay on the wall.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean? You could.
They're also cheap enough to double up.
Double up. Yeah, you can always dip your toe in. You know what I'm saying? On keeping it on card.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's our on-deck collections. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Glad we could get one ready and fired up for you guys, even though we are traveling and not able to record a timely one. We got something out for you. Thank you very much for listening. We'll definitely be back next week. Peace.
They are good. They are evil. They are alien. They are wise. And they are available. At Toys R Us, you can find the complete collection from Star Wars Episode 1. It's a selection of epic proportions, and they are waiting. Toys R Us.